Hello. Today I'd like to build a mount for my camera lens. So I bought a new lens off of Amazon and I want to put it on my cell phone. Not this cell phone in particular, but another cell phone, but I'll use this one as a reference. So I will take this filter. This is an ND filter. I want to try some video recordings with the ND filter, and I want to take this the cell phone and take the ND filter and put an attachment on there so that it will basically look like that. Okay, and that's what we'll do. So I have an existing case on my cell phone, so I will have to measure that case and start creating that. And so I'll get the general idea down, and then I'll fine tune the dimensions in afterwards. So let's start off by measuring the size of this filter. It's supposed to be 62 millimeters from Amazon, and this one is an adjustable ND filter, so you can slide it back and forth and it changes the darkness. So I think it's only 4. It's from ND2 to an ND32, and the brand is Newer, if in case you guys want to possibly buy it. So Newer ND2, there we go. So all right, here we go. So I'm gonna measure the diameter, the inner diameter here, and looks like my caliper's turned off, and I will go 0 the calipers out, 0. So now I'm going to grab these and check the distance of this thread. So this is a magnetic mount, which means that it will come apart. So I'm getting 61.8. Okay. There we are, 61.8. So I will build it exact. I may have to do a couple versions of this because I want this to screw into it. Kind of like a one-time screw in, but if you see, it's got 2 pieces, and this is just a ring. Okay, a ring like that, and this magnetic, it just simply is attached like this. So this is the thread. So all I need to do is concentrate on this right here, and the small tiny little threads inside of there. I don't know if you can see them. Let me try to show you without, I don't want to damage it. So there we go, we can see the teeny tiny little threads. Now I'm not going to have this perfect, but I'm going to print this pretty fine, probably 0.1 or 0.05, and try to get this to work properly. So here we go. We're going to build a shroud basically around the cell phone. So it's going to be a little clasp. We're going to take it like this, and we're going to put the cell phone. The clasp is going to be probably like here. It's going to probably slide onto the top here and into there. So we need to measure the width of the cell phone, okay? And we need to have maybe a stop on the top, and then we need to have that big diameter on the very back of it. And that will allow us to screw in our magnetic adapter and be able to put in our filter. So let's go about and start creating this. First of all, we're going to start off with the free subscription of Onshape. All this data is public and shareable. So yeah, it's a free program, very robust, and I recommend it. I am not sponsored, but I do recommend the software. It's very nice. For me, it was easy to understand and learn, coming from a CAD background. So I want to create a brand new document. So go to Document, Create. We're going to put in here lens. All right, we have lens created. Now what we want to do is hide our top view. So left click, right click, hide top plane. Same thing, right click, get rid of the top plane, just hiding it. Then we're going to go to front view. Okay, now we're going to start creating a sketch on our front view. Sketch, click on this guy right here. We got our sketch now. And the first thing I want to do is measure my cell phone width, okay? And I'm going to make this, like I said, I'm using another cell phone as a reference. But it will essentially, I will adjust this afterwards, after this video. So we got 78.66 on the cell phone. So we're going with the width of it. and I will push that to 80. I want this to be clear, so let's go 80 millimeters. 80 millimeters. Okay, and then we're going to have a couple little legs coming down, and those little legs will grab it and basically wrap around the cell phone. So we'll find the thickness of the cell phone. Okay, so let's have put some dimensions. D for dimension. We're going for here. We're going to 80 millimeters, and then that's our internal dimension should be 80. I'm sorry. Let's get rid of this 80. So that we'll figure out afterwards. So this to here is 80. Let's go D for dimension. Here to here. Nope. Let's undo that. Control Z. Here to here. Okay, 80. So it adjusted, it scaled it for me. So now I'm going to grab the outside, which let's say it's outside is, I'm just getting a reference here, probably 5 millimeters. So that's about 5 millimeters right there. So let's put a 5 millimeter. And if this is too fragile, I can always adjust it later. So 5, and then 5 here. Okay, and then I'm going to have it tuck inside and wrap around it. Okay, so I want it to go inside and wrap around about let's say 2 millimeters, and the depth here, we're just putting approximates here. So here to here, 2 millimeters. You see the yellow line, it kind of matched up with the other one, so that's good to see. So now we will be adjusting size with a D. So here we go, D, clicked on the wrong thing. That's okay, we'll fix that afterwards. So here to here, 2 millimeters. Here to here, 2. We're gonna go widthwise here to here, 6 millimeters. No, it's gonna be much more than 6. That was 5, all right, yeah. Definitely not 6, so we're gonna adjust that. We're gonna change that to 5, 6, 7, 7 millimeters maybe. Well, let's 8, just to be safe. 8 millimeters sounds good. Here to here, 8 millimeters. Okay, and then we can use a trim function. So let's click off of that. Let's go into our trim, which is M. Okay, we can get rid of that line right there in the middle, and that line right there in the middle. You see that little faint line? That just is a dimension line, so don't worry about that one. All right, so and then we can add a nice little radius here. So let's undo trim. Now we're going to go to fillet and add this fillet here. What size do we want? We just kind of throw something in there. I think a 1 millimeter sounds good. So I clicked on 1, and then I should remember that 1 millimeter here. 1, yep, perfect, okay. And then we can add a fillet to here so we don't have like a stress point and a break area. So here to here, and we're going to put like, we could try to match up the curvature, but it might be hard. Let's put 2. 2. You see how it readjusted it? That's so it broke that line. Let me undo that a couple times. I'm going to break this line by hitting trim that guy. Trim this guy. Oh, I think I went outside. Hit Control Z to get back out of there, and I think I fixed it. I overdid the line, so we're good there. So now we're going to go and create that fillet again. So here to here, 2. Here to here, 2. Perfect. Okay, and the outside, we can worry about that stuff afterwards. Right now we just got the basics of it. We got the size. So the thickness of my cell phone, let's check that. And I'm using, I already have a case on here, so I got 12.2 millimeters. So I'm going to put a dimension on here. Let's go to D. I'm going to go here to here. This is the important one. So I'm going to put 13. I want it to be a little bit loose. I want it to fit on there without, having to break it as you're putting it on. 13. Okay, and it's over constrained when it's red. We can delete that guy. So it kind of, if we go over here and look at constraints, we could see this is parallel, or this is horizontal with the bottom. So let's make sure that these are connected to get rid of those constraints now. Draw a dimension from this face to this face, and I want it to be 0, okay? So it's saying, oh, it's over constrained, so one side was actually incorrect. So I will go and just delete that guy and click on that guy, click on this guy, and then I can click on a couple of these guys. There, it fixed it. So it was over constrained, so we just removed those over constraints. Got rid of all the red, so that's just a hit and a delete key. So we're pretty much done there. So now we can do an extrusion of this, okay? So let's do the extrude. Here we go. We click in the extrude, and height-wise, we have to go farther than our, longer than our cell phone here. So I'm going to go with, let's say 80 millimeters, okay? So we're going to go 80 millimeters down or up, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is the little piece that's going to fit on there, okay? And it's going to slide over my cell phone, okay? We're going to have a hard stop on the very top, so I need to probably sketch something, or what I could do is I could do a little bit longer. So let's do 84, and we're going to trim off 4. So we're going to do a split body here. And before we do split, we're going to go to our plane. So we're going to go to plane, and we're going to click on this top face. We're going to do offset plane, and we're going to do let's do 4, and we're going to flip it with this little guy, and there we go. Say okay. Now we're going to split this. So we're going to go split, part to split, entity to split with. It's this datum plane, okay? And now we can see it split. So now I can actually go in here and I can hit like delete face right here. So I should be able to delete these guys. Clicking on the faces that I want to delete, and to change this shape here. And make sure to click on that guy. Good to go. Here we go. All right, so now we've got a positive stop. We're going to union this. So union this guy to this guy. Okay, we are now one piece. We can hide this plane. So hide plane 1. All right, now we see it's good to go. We get a hard stop there, no problem. We could put a radius if we wanted, but I think it's okay. And we could put a radius on this edge, and just to make it look pretty, and to make it so it's not sharp against our fingers. Let's put 2 millimeters. Sounds good to me. Okay. Okay, so that is pretty much the size of it. So now what I need to do is I will go and poke a hole in this, and 61.8 is our dimension. So I do want it kind of offset a little bit, maybe. Let's see what that looks like. So I'm going to put a sketch on this back surface right here, and I'm going to put just a circle, and then I'm going to put that 61.8. So I'm just going to throw in here approximate size, and then we can play around with this afterwards. So dimension here, so 61.8. So this is exactly the size I need. I'll probably have to adjust this. I'll print this 1 or 2 times, as I'm going to create a first copy of this, print it out, see if it actually screws on there. If it's too loose or too tight, I'll adjust it, and I'll fine tune it to exactly what I need. All right, let's create one more circle. And this one will do 65 millimeters. D for dimension, 65. 65 might be a little too small. Let me go hit escape. So we're going to do 68. 68, perfect, there we go. All right, so now we're going to raise this up, okay? So we're going to do a extrude. Click OK, click on that green. Then we're going to do an extrude of this face right here. This is this face too. And we're going to do this 10 millimeters, okay? Okay, and we will close that. So that's creating the other piece, and this, I believe it added it. Yeah, it added it, so they combined it. So it united that together. So now I can make this face and this face kind of work together now. What we're going to do is a split body here. And then we're going to create a new line which we want this to match up with, okay? We extruded down, so that's why. Going here to here. We're at 27.1. So we know it's 27-ish. Alright, so I'm going to do a split body here. First I'm going to put a plane on this surface. I'm going to offset this 15 millimeters and then flip it to the other way, okay? Now we're going to do a split body, split this guy with this guy, okay? Now we can hide this part right here, okay? And now we want to match this. We want to loft this to this. Let's see how well that works. Let's see. Okay, we got this guy to this guy. And let's do finish. Okay, it did it. Does it look the prettiest? Not so much, but let's click on this loft and see what we can do. So just playing around with loft, we can do normal to profile and then normal to profile. Let's take a look at that. That looks a little weird. That one looks a little strange too. I think it's trying to match up with that corner right there. So maybe I can trim that corner off, or I could actually take off this radius. Let's do that. So I'm going to take off that radius first, and then I'll, or actually I could rearrange that radius. So fillet, we can grab this and throw it down below loft. And now we can see the loft has changed. The loft has gotten better. It now is more equal, but the radius itself kind of acts strange. So we can delete this radius here, and we can add the radius back if we want to. Okay, so that's how you do the loft feature. All right, and now we want to poke a hole in this so that this hole goes to the other whole side. We are going to undo. So let's go... let's remove this loft. Right click, delete. Okay, we are going to push this hole through. We're going to do a replace face. Perfect. Now we're going to do, let's get our part back. Let's pull this face out. Let's do a move face. $10mm, sound good. All right, so now we're going to, let's get rid of that radius right there. Go back in the, not that sketch, cancel. I'm going to go back in sketch 1. We're going to get rid of this fillet right here. And then we're going to match that up with using this button right here, this extend. So extend this guy to here, and then extend this guy to here. Let's do that again, extend this guy to here. There we go, perfect. Okay, we're back. Nice and flat. Kept the other one, that's good. So now we will poke this hole through there. And I want to unite these two pieces together. It's union them. So this guy, union and union. Okay, now it's one piece. Now I want to take this wall and I want to move this wall. So we're going to move face just slightly down. 5 sounds good. And now we're going to do a replace face. We're going to take this face and poke it through. So that's a replace face. Clicking here, surface to replace with this guy right here. Okay, and we can see now it went through. Okay, and we could we see it's kind of stopped right there. That's fine. We could probably take that down a little more. We'll have to see how this works. This size probably, my thicknesses are too much probably. I'll adjust this and we'll go with a smaller thickness, but right now that's pretty good. Let's see. Let's see if I can do a extrusion. Let's go with 5mm right now. Let's see. There we go. And then what's that thickness? We can definitely change that thickness by changing the sketch 1. We could change to 10mm or so. Let's go into our dimension here. We're clicking here and here. Oh, we didn't even have it checked. So let's go 5. Let's see what 5 looks like. See if it's all right, 5 looks pretty good. Now, I don't know what it's going to do in this area. The lens is hanging over. That's fine. The camera, yeah, I think everything's going to be okay. Because the lens is actually shifted. And the camera should be like right here. So that shouldn't be a problem. If it is a problem, I'll have to remove this edge or something. It might see that edge. But yeah, I don't think it will. So this is my first draft. I just want to quickly get this, drafted out. I want to check this side. This is the main thing I want to check. So what I'll probably do is I'll split this out. So here, I'll split right here. I'll take this guy and split them with this edge. Okay, and then I will send this out and 3D print this part right here only. I'm going to fine tune that. I'm going to print that out, only this piece, and then I'm going to check to see if this lens will screw onto it. If it doesn't screw, I don't have any screw threads either. All I wanted is a tight fit. I don't want to even try to simulate the threads, because that means I got to create a helicoil and then extrude the helicoil, revolve it, and it's a little too complicated. So we're just trying to make this simple. We're going to make it like a pressed fit almost, where you press it on, you could try to screw it on. We just want it tight enough. And depending on your printer, my printer, everybody's printer is going to be a little bit different as far as shrink rate goes, and material, stuff like that. I'll probably print this out of PETG, as it's a little stronger. And then I could print a small sliver of this, make sure it fits over the cell phone properly. So maybe one is this guy, second is this guy. Okay, so let me do another split. I want to split this guy, and then down probably -5. Let me create a plane here. Let me create a plane. So we're going to do plane off this surface. We're going to do 5 millimeters, flip it. So click that little guy right there. Okay, so yep, perfect. Now we're going to do a split. And then we're going to split with this face right here. Or I'm sorry, this datum, if it lets me. Let me do that again. Split this body, this face. Yep. Okay. There we go. Ooh, careful which one you're just clicking on. There we go. Got it. All right. Clicked on that guy. All right. So we're going to do a 3D print of this first, then this second. And then we will check and see spacebar to get unselect all those. So I want to change the color of this. Let's see. Edit. Appearance, and I want to change it to like a purple or something. There you go, perfect. Okay, and then this guy we can part 1. We do part 1. We'll change the appearance of that one to a green, St. Patrick's Day green. We'll change that to a green. All right, so I'm gonna send these off to my printer. Check and see if this fits on my cell phone properly. Check and see if this fits on my cell phone properly. And then I will continue on with this. So then I'll beautify it and make it look pretty. So yeah, nice rounded edges, and we'll see how it turns out. Maybe I'll come back with a second video of what I did to make this look even more pretty, and how my rings worked, how this fits on there, you know, my overall impressions. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm going to print this, check and see how the fit is. Does it fit on my cell phone properly? Any issues? I don't want to print the whole thing. If you got the time, you might as well print the whole thing if you wanted to in one piece. But I'm going to print these individually. So yeah, to get this printed out, I would go to that part right there, right click, go to export, and I can export this as a STL. So I'm going to call this the ring. Okay, and then this one here is going to be my last one, and we could call that the holder part. Okay, so spacebar, get out all that, unselect, right click, export, and then we could call this the actual holder. Okay, there we go. I'll probably follow up with some additional information and provide, you know, what I think is the best solution for this. I'll do a couple quick 3D prints, check and see. I do want to do a higher resolution of my print, you know, maybe a 0.1 millimeter layer height, and check and see how that fits. If you do too big of a layer height, it might be beneficial, or it could be, you know, affect your overall piece. It may not work properly for you if it's too thick. Maybe if it's too thick or too thin, you have to play with that. So I'll try to get back with this video and provide feedback and update you on how this went and show you the final product, maybe in a part 2 of this video. So thank you. Hopefully you learned something from this video and you were able to get some information and start designing with the Onshape free version. It's like I said, a very robust piece of software. Allows you to do quite a bit like the major CAD systems. So good luck. Thanks. Like and subscribe if you like this content. Give me suggestions if you have anything in mind that you'd like to have me to create content on. And yep, thanks.